This month we're going to make salt shakers, or salt and pepper shakers if you like. You can make them in a set. Get these corks to seal the hole that you make so that you can refill them. These actually work. You can do different designs. I got these ones that sort of fit together. I've got these ones where you know, they're sort of similar in design, but they're a little bit different. There are corks on the bottom of this one and the side of this one. So I'm going to take you through how to make these. I'm going to do some rectangular ones like these, and to do that, I'm going to have to take you back in time to a work trip I was on the last 2 weeks. Where I did the actual construction. Those first scenes were filmed in the studio in Vancouver. But now I've gone back in time to earlier in May, when I was on a research trip working with a colleague at Michigan State University in exciting East Lansing, Michigan. I joke about it being exciting, but I've come here almost every year for the past dozen or more years. So I've come to enjoy the place, and I have friends here, and I certainly enjoy working with my colleague in the math department here, who's also a very good friend. I thought it was an interesting idea to film some of the May project here, because it was in a long stay hotel room, a suite like the one I'm in now, that I first decided to do paper mache work. I had been an amateur potter and had worked out that, you know, even staying, I think the longest I've stayed is 8 weeks, just 2 weeks this year. But even in 8 weeks, there's really no time to find you know, a pottery studio and make some pottery and have it fired and have it all finished. Certainly not in 2 weeks, and the shorter visits that I've had. And I thought, well, I'll just try paper mache. It's something I'd done with the kids, and it turned out to be a very similar craft to pottery with many of the same elements. And so I cooked up some paste here in the little kitchen that I have, and I brought some supplies to make the salt shakers that you saw some of the examples of in the first segments. So let's make a start. Okay, here I am in my long stay hotel in East Lansing. I brought some pieces of, well, I'll say these were from a cracker box, but I'll say cereal box cardboard that I cut out in 5 centimeter width pieces with my paper cutter back in the studio, but I brought them along with me, along with an X-Acto knife, and a pin tool, but you could use a compass from your geometry set. And I also have some hobby corks. Okay, they come in various sizes. I got some on Amazon. Okay, this is a couple of centimeters long. If you really can't do this and you've got a wine cork, you can cut it down to size. And I am going to use these corks to put in the holes of the salt shakers where you fill them up. So I took my X-Acto knife, I cut a circle that's bigger than the small end but smaller than the big end. Okay, there's going to be a little bit of a tighter fit as I add the paper mache coating to this piece. I'm going to say again, be a little bit careful as you're using these sharp things. I actually cut myself quite badly with one, and it's healed over, but it's still giving me difficulty, I guess, as healing and nerve reconstruction is still going on inside. So do be careful with the sharp things, especially if you're working with kids. Okay, so this is an interesting thing. You're not going to be able to put it all together and decorate it and then coat it with polyurethane. It's going to have to come in stages, and I'm going to set up those first steps, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what I've done. Okay, I've done some partial construction. I've got 3 sides and the bottom. Got the top and the 4th side. I'm going to let these dry, and then I'm going to give the insides a coat of polyurethane. The inside. Then I'll poke the holes in the top, and then I'll assemble it all together. Put white paper is on the inside, but I'll put white paper all around the outside and all the joints, and I'll show you how that looks, and then it'll be basically ready for decoration. Okay, here we are. As I said, I put polyurethane on the inside edges, let that dry, and then put them together. As always, you do paper mache, and things kind of warp a little bit. It's part of its charm, but remember, you can mitigate that by putting the layers of paper on the outside, and if one layer is not enough to make it look like you want, just keep going and things will smooth out. I will say, remember, unless you have minuscule fingers that can go in these holes, there's no way to line some of the interior edges. So you're going to want to make sure that all of the external edges are sealed, so that you don't have salt leaking out. I have some experience making these holes so that regular grain salt will come out. In Canada, we have Windsor salt is a typical brand. It's like the standard salt you get in the containers. If for some reason, when you're finished all of this, salt will not come out, just put your compass or your pin tool in and do this, and you can make the holes a little bit bigger, and just keep doing that until it works. But these are now ready for decoration once they've dried. So I'll let them do that. I have some red paint that I got at the local hobby store. And I'll be then adding some colored paper decoration like I've done before. So you'll see that at the end of tomorrow. Okay, we're done. I'm kind of happy with how they turned out. I'll leave these with some friends here in Michigan, as long as I'll take them. The problem with a hobby and no sales outlet is eventually your friends stop taking your stuff. Anyway, corks seem to fit pretty well. I think I've got the holes sized right. I have to say, I'm not that happy with the shape. I think they should be thinner. So this 5 centimeter width, I think, is too much. But you try stuff out and see how it goes. Okay, so those are the 2 results of the May project. I made one other thing here. This is a sort of a joke gift. My colleague is coming up to his birthday. In fact, it's today. I already given him something I brought from home, but I made this here. It is notes from our project from last year that I've pasted on top of a bowl that I constructed in the same way I did the January project. I'm going to have a few scenes after this from the future where I'll show you some of the projects that I will finish up in the studio, just so you can see what else I'm working on. Okay, so now we're back to the future in the studio. I just had a couple of other things I made this month I was going to show you. I got some daisies. This is version 2. My wife tells me that daisies should have more rounded ends to the petals, so there'll be a version 3. I might show you next month. The other thing I wanted to show you, I guess I'm going to have to zoom out, are these storage. Oh, I got to zoom out a little bit more. These storage boxes I made. They're a little bit slanted. They are meant to be a pair with matching colors, and lids. I really like the lids. Every once in a while I have in my imagination I see something that I think would look cool. Often, of course, when I make it, it's less interesting, but this turned out exactly like I had hoped. And so you can use these to put your secret things in. Okay, that's it for this month. Next month, I think we'll do some paper mache flowers, and my favorite flower is a daffodil. So that's what we'll do.